Venir bien, venir bien. Okay, so venir is a verb. Venir. Venir, and then we add bien. Venir means to come in English. Ven. Ven aquí. Come here. And it's used to indicate movement toward a place, okay, or a person. And it's, essentially the main meaning of venir is to come. Bien means good or well. So if someone asks you, how are you in Spanish, ¿cómo estás? You can say bien, well, which is good, right? Good. There's a difference between bueno and bien, okay? I actually have a video about that, but bien is used with verbs a lot. Comer bien, eat well. Cantar bien, sing well, or to sing well. Venir bien essentially means to come well. essentially. But we're talking about something else, similar, but a bit different, okay? So let's see what venir bien means. The meaning is to suit well, okay? To suit well. Venir bien is a common Spanish phrase. Of course, you know that. And it just means to suit well or to be convenient, okay? It is used when something is suitable or convenient for someone. So, venir bien. We should look at some examples using this phrase, venir bien. Okay, because it's a bit tricky. This is an advanced phrase. Yeah, it is an advanced phrase. So, the first example is, where is it? Este horario. This is a tricky word to pronounce because the R sound is quite, it's not the R sound. It's more like ra, ra-re-ri-ro-ru. Okay? So, este horario. Okay? Este horario me viene bien. Este horario me viene bien. By the way, you can use reflexive pronouns with this phrase. I mean, technically you could say venirse bien, but it sounds, sometimes it's kind of odd because sometimes in Spanish you can see, that it, the se added to the verb. Sometimes you don't, but a lot of Spanish verbs can use reflexive pronouns. So many. I would say, I cannot tell you exactly, but I would say 90% of the verbs can work with reflexive pronouns. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It's very, very common. So what does this mean? Este horario me viene bien. This means this schedule suits me well. Maybe you like working, early in the morning or maybe in the afternoon. And when talking about your schedule, your work schedule, well, it should be something that suits you well, that it's good for you. It's convenient for you. So this phrase is about that. When something works for you, okay? When something is good, okay? So we're talking about schedule. We're talking about anything in your life that is just convenient. It could be, we're talking about places, we're talking about schedules, we're talking about work, we're talking about food or something convenient, essentially. So let's break this down and let's see how this phrase works. Este means this, okay? Este is masculine and singular. Remember that we have esta with a, right? Esta also means this, feminine, and there's also plural. Estos, plural masculine, estas, plural feminine, okay? Este horario, it's masculine, este, because horario is masculine, the noun. Este horario, this schedule, okay? Me is a reflexive pronoun, and it can mean I or me, okay? In this situation, it means me. Me viene, we have the phrase here, bien. Me viene bien, suits me well. So just remember this last part, because if you want to say suits me well in Spanish, you can just say this, me viene bien. You can also say me viene bien este horario. So you have the second part first. Me viene bien este horario. This schedule suits me well. Okay, so it's the same meaning. It's flexible, and just by itself, me viene bien, that means that something suits you well or suits me well. That's the literal, that's the translation. Okay, so that is what we have here. That's the first example, and so that's the first one. Let's look at the second one. Let's see what we have here. Oops. Te vendrá bien descansar un poco. Te vendrá bien descansar un poco. And this means it will suit you well to rest a little, or it will be good for you to rest a little. So we're talking about just the we can tell, or we can say this to someone who needs to rest, So it's technically you're saying you should rest. It looks like you need to rest. So essentially that's what we're saying. But we're just saying it will suit you well to rest a little. Just rest. just go rest. So let's break this down. And let's see how this sentence works. Te, we have reflexive pronoun, te, okay? Te can mean yourself or you. In this situation, it means you, okay? And then we have vendrá bien. So that is the phrase conjugated. Of course, we conjugated the verb. Te vendrá bien means it will suit you well, okay? Te vendrá bien, it will suit you well. Descansar, similar to saying rest. Descansar means rest. When you're resting, tengo que descansar, I have to rest. Descansar is a verb, and we see it in the infinitive form. So when you say te vendrá bien or te vendría bien, or just using this phrase, if you add a verb right after, use it in the infinitive form. Do not conjugate it. And te vendrá bien means it will suit you well to do something. In this situation, rest, descansar. And un poco means a little. Un poco, a little. Okay? So keep that in mind. All the definitions, the meanings. Remember, venir bien means to suit well. To suit well. Do you guys have any questions? ¿A qué hora te viene bien quedar? Prefiero no venir, no prefiero venir. Yeah, that's correct. ¿A qué hora te viene bien quedar? That one, I don't know exactly what you mean, Fancy Pants. Te vendrá bien descansar un poquito. Poquito, te ves cansada. Good. That is good. That is good. And if you notice here, viene, that one is conjugated for the personal pronouns. It's present tense, okay? And it's conjugated for the personal pronouns él, ella, usted. But it's technically it, because we're talking about horario, okay? Horario. And this is it. This is it. Here, we're talking about descansar, right? So technically, we're talking about an it again. The conjugation here, because this vendrá the conjugation is it's the conjugated verb of course venir for the third person singular él, ella, and usted, and also its future tense. Okay, so we're technically conjugated the verb for it. Okay, in this situation, this schedule. In this situation, it's just it, because you need to rest, right? So just keep that in mind. The conjugation that we're using it for it. It can be also plural. It can be for example, if we, for some reason, say estos horarios, okay, that these, for some reason, can be plural. These schedules me vienen suit me well, okay? Me vienen bien. And vienen is for ellos. The conjugation here, vienen, is for these schedules, which technically this is considered they. Okay? Ellos vienen. But it's just a plural thing, you know? So, estos horarios me vienen bien. These schedules suit me well. So when you conjugate this verb venir, just pay attention to what you're referring to. Is it an it? Is it like these? Okay, plural, or just one thing that is convenient for you, or multiple things. So just keep an eye on that when you conjugate the verb. I know it can be tricky, but that's how it works. That's how it works. The conjugation specifically.